and gentlemen, welcome back to 4.5 Marks. I am your host, Child of the Hero, sporting that war horse. Thanks again. And I got with me the Icon Jib and Pan Blanco. Sorry you got called stale bread recently.
Oh, it's whatever. It's one of those things. It's like when you're talking to V, just let V kind of bounce off you, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It ain't nothing.
Nah.
Yeah. But today we got a pretty what's the right word for it?
Exciting.
Relevant.
An exciting addition of relevancy.
Relevancy, yes. Today we're talking about CM Punk. Phil Brooks.
Not Phil of the future.
No.
Yeah. Yep. Phil of the future.
Phil of the past.
Phil of the past. Ooh. That's the title right there.
Phil of the past. Alright. If I didn't do it, call me out.
Yeah, just know my idea was better.
So we're talking about CM Punk. As we've all heard, he's been terminated from his contract.
Surprise.
Yep, surprise. Terminated from his contract. And is now, who knows what's left for his future. So we're gonna talk about what we think is gonna happen, our thoughts on the whole situation, everything like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's unfortunate.
It is.
We'll start with how it happened.
So we'll start back from the first time there's a situation, and that would be with not as far back. We're not gonna go into WWE, but we'll go into AEW.
Yeah, we'll say AEW.
1 year ago at All Out.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
No way.
Pretty close.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Barely a year.
Yeah.
At All Out, he fuck.
The backstage riot. I guess you could.
Yes,
call it.
there was
FTR and the Young Bucks, or is that
No. It was with the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman, Alex Steele, CM Punk, and I think somebody's dog.
CM Punk's dog.
CM Punk's dog.
That's where they were throwing chairs, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So what happened was it was things boiling over, right? So we had the feud between CM Punk and Hangman, where Hangman took some liberties and said some things that Punk was not a fan of. As well, he took some liberties in the match, and things just kind of kept, like, all that tension kept on building and building until we got to the press conference of All Out 2022, in which he was asked all these questions about the Elite and Colt Cabana, and he buried Colt Cabana.
Yeah, he did, actually.
He really buried Colt Cabana.
Wow.
And, of course,
talking about his mom and stuff, right?
Correct. Well, because,
because they share a bank account.
Yes. Yeah, that was part of it. That is correct.
Forgot about that.
Man.
And so...
Leave that man alone.
Yeah.
Leave Colt Cabana alone. What did he do?
What was he eating, too? CM Punk was eating
It was either donuts or some muffins.
He promoted it, right?
Yeah, he promoted the shit out of those muffins, dude.
He was like, go down to this store. It's the best.
Chances are their sales went down.
It was a bakery, and he had donuts from that bakery.
Yeah, he was eating them, too.
He was like, this good shit.
Yeah. And so he does a press conference. He buries the Elite as well. Yeah. So the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, who had just won the Trios title, the first crowned Trials, the inaugural champions, went to go confront him about it. And it was things started to get heated. And so Punk threw the first punch because it's like he'd rather throw the first punch than take the first punch. And then...
classic Chicagoans.
And then he hit one of the Bucks. Kenny tried to get Larry, CM Punk's dog, out of there so he wouldn't get hurt. Fair. I think Kenny also got bit by Ace Steel.
Yes. Yeah, he did. He did. That's what happened. I was like, I knew it wasn't Larry that bit somebody.
Got bit by another person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got bit by another person. So, and I think Kenny Omega's hair got pulled too during that match. Or not during the match.
During that match? Rick Knox was in the corner, ready to do the count.
During that fight. It's strange how I'm like talking about wrestling and then talking about like not referring to it as a match.
Wow.
So that's what happened. Everybody got suspended. Everybody was allowed to come back. CM Punk didn't come back for a whole year because in the match against Moxley, he tore his bicep. And so he had to go get surgery and get healed up and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so you know, they're still trying to like reconnect and not sweep it under the rug, but like bury the hatchet, right? But there's always just that negativity behind each one of them because the Elite came back first before CM Punk did,
Yes.
and they threw a lot of shade on him, and then CM Punk came back and he immediately started throwing shade at them, and so we get to. They created they essentially made a whole new show just so CM Punk would be on it, and the Elite wouldn't, and that was Collision.
Oh my god!
And so
That's crazy.
That's basically what they
That's
did.
crazy.
They didn't have a hard brand split, but they had like guys who would exclusively wrestle. Like House of Black was only wrestling on there. Andrade was wrestling on there. Miro, CM Punk, and then you had your crossover guys. So one of those guys being Jungle Boy Jack Perry. He started having this feud with Hook, and Hook obviously it's for the FTW title. You defend it under Extreme Rules.
Mm-hmm.
He had an idea for a spot, which was him going through real glass, and Punk said no, do that shit on Dynamite, which caused some tension between them. So then we fast forward to All In Wembley Stadium, and on the pre-show, we had Hook versus Jack Perry, and Jack Perry essentially called out that whole argument when he went to the car, knocks on the window, it's like real glass, and as soon as the match is over and Jack Perry walks through, CM Punk gets into his face, and they have a confrontation, and they start shoving each other, and then Punk puts him in a chokehold.
Yo.
And then he gets separated. This is all before the show goes live on the air. And Punk reportedly did not want to do the match any longer. And he what's it called? He didn't want to do the match, but Samoa Joe convinced him to do the match, so he went out, had the match, and all that happened. The other bits of it too that kind of happened between some reported news. He reportedly had an issue with Regal when they were both with the company last year.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yep. So reportedly CM Punk calling Regal Triple H's stooge.
Mm-hmm.
And
jeez.
Yeah.
And then
to Regal.
Yeah.
Of all people.
Yep.
And then one of the things that happened that kind of probably didn't help these tensions either is Tony Khan was trying to set up a meeting between the Elite and CM Punk because it was the first time they're actually in the same building together.
Yeah.
So he was trying to set up a meeting between them. He had asked CM Punk first if he wanted to do this meeting. CM Punk agreed to the meeting.
Okay.
Then he asked the Elite, and they said no. But from what I understand of reports, CM Punk understood that the meeting was happening. It wasn't a whole like can we do this meeting? It was like, hey, this meeting's happening, and then it didn't happen. So he took that as kind of a sign of disrespect, and also he believes that the Elite are the ones who canceled his car service for him to get to the arena, and so he pretty much went on subways and walked with it was him, Brody King, and someone else. I think Buddy Matthews, all walking around lost in London, and thanks to fans, he got to Wembley Stadium. So, again, this is all alleged and reported.
It's crazy how Brody King and Buddy Matthews aren't mad like CM Punk, and they're not fired.
Yeah. So, that's kind of the information that's out there at the moment. We don't know what's true, what's not, what's going on there. All we know is CM Punk's been fired. Jack Perry has been suspended. Wembley has cameras everywhere and has footage of this fight. So,
put it on Cops.
I'm honestly just waiting for someone to leak it.
Cops London.
Yep.
Nice.
I want them to wear those big old puffy hats.
Yeah. So,
Queen's guards.
what are your guys' thoughts on all this?
You know, it was only a matter of time, I feel, with like CM Punk. It's been one of those things like, if I go back to his WWE stuff, like the pipe bomb and whatnot, like I was really behind that because it felt real, right? But now, like, it kind of happened here in AEW as well, and it's not necessarily to that extent, but like you can see the internal problems that he had there as well, and like probably why he butted heads with Triple H and then whoever else was in the the top spots over there. But it's just like to me, it feels like obviously I don't know everything, right? I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I didn't even hear about it until after. But to me, it just seems like he's kind of problematic in his own right, and he kind of forces these things upon himself. If that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. I can kind of agree with that because like he had this issue kind of with the Ring of Honor, and then he had this issue again with WWE.
I think there was even something of him with like the UFC when he was commentating and stuff. Like when he had that like deal with them, everyone thought he was kind of a hothead.
Yeah, there was something I do remember something about that coming out. Like right after he stopped doing it.
Yeah, and there was like no definitive reason, but everything was kind of hush hush about it because he just kind of left on his own, right?
Yeah, I do remember though. I think he got like essentially kicked off commentary mid fight or mid like.
I believe so. I think that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
About that.
So yeah, there's that. So and then I love CM Punk. Right. Here's the thing.
He's a great wrestler.
He's a great wrestler.
Yep.
Ever since I first saw him in ECW before he won the title, I've just been a fan of his. I unfortunately missed the Summer of Punk.
Oh, it was a good time.
Because I wasn't watching during the time.
LOL, Kevin Nash is back. Thought he was dead. LOL.
Yeah. And now, like, I was really excited for his return. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. And, at the beginning he had these series of matches that were just phenomenal. And then, everything kind of just went to the garbage, so to speak, when he won the title.
Yeah, once he was back on top.
Yeah, once he was on top. What are your thoughts?
I think CM Punk reminds me a lot of the similar situations that Melina did with wrestling, where wrestling has changed so much that CM Punk is now a relic to his time.
Yeah.
He can't, or won't, I should say, want to basically get with the times, essentially. It did all kind of go downhill once he became the world champion, because I feel like at that point he probably had such an inflated head where he was thinking he's untouchable. He was probably thinking, I got that John Cena spot. I could probably do whatever the hell I want and get away with it.
I can see that. I can see that. I don't necessarily agree with it, though. Because one thing, again, we reported news, right? One of the things is that he didn't want to be champion, but Tony wanted him to be champion. And
he's popping ratings.
Yeah, and so
he's moving numbers.
He understood why he should become champion, but he didn't want to be.
Right.
But I do think because he held that title, he did kind of get a bigger head. You're right about that.
100%.
But yeah, I don't.
But I honestly do think that he's just got that old school mentality. Because he left wrestling for so long. Like, he left it in 2013?
2014.
It was a 7-year return.
Yeah,
so
then 7 years later, this guy pops up on my birthday?
2021.
Yeah, so it was 2021 when he came back. So, yeah, it was 2014 when he...
A lot has happened in those 7 years, man.
A lot has happened. We had the Women's Revolution.
Yeah, a lot has happened.
Wrestling in general.
Wrestling in general wasn't the same from 2014 to 2021.
And, to further your point on that, too... He had said on like in an interview once that he gets along with like the older guys like Ricky Steamboat, with Flair, with all these other guys, but they're the older guys.
Exactly.
So I think you're right on that, where it's like he has that old school mentality.
That's why he got along with FTR, because FTR had that same similar mentality.
Exactly. So I don't know.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very.
There's a lot of money that was thrown away.
Yeah. Hey, but we had the $50,000 battle royal.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. They did well with the whole promotion or what that pay-per-view that day.
All Out.
Yeah,
they handled it professionally.
Yeah, everyone got pyro.
Yeah.
And they spent his whole check on that.
Yeah. They
And
pretty
the
much
rest
did.
of it went to Daniel Bryan's final countdown.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Exactly.
So the question now is where.
What does he do?
What does he do? What do you guys think he should do?
Go home.
Yeah, go home. Read a book.
Touch grass.
Yeah, hang out with your dog.
Hang out with your wife.
So
If you're into that.
from what is reported is that he wants to he wants to continue wrestling. There's
Come to Omaha.
There's things about
Actually,
Am I wrong?
well, we'll see.
I'm down.
Let's see.
We got plenty of locals for you.
Wanted to have a promo off of Josh C.
Oh man.
Just talking
Okay.
the shit.
Well, so there's reports that he wants to continue wrestling,
Cool.
and there was reports that he wants to go back to WWE. What thoughts on that?
Triple H
Send-
and him don't like each other. I already know that.
Send him to NXT.
NXT?
With
No.
Sean?
Yep.
So my thoughts, right, are I do want him to continue wrestling. If he wants to wrestle, then he should continue wrestling.
Yeah. I agree with
But you either do one or two things at this point. You either create your own wrestling promotion,
that.
and I mean he probably has the money to do
He
it.
probably does. They paid him very well.
Yeah, and then like me as a fan, I'd watch it.
Oh, I would too.
I give
Yeah.
it a watch. Yeah, I would too, man. Why not?
I mean, if it was worth it, obviously.
Or
And they traveled the Midwest.
yeah, or
based out of Chicago.
based out of Chicago.
Is there?
Or because I don't think WWE would take him back because like Tyler said, he's got issues with Triple H. They don't like
Does
each
he?
other. Oh, the Icon. Yes, what you said. They got issues. He can't go to NXT because that's Shawn Michaels. He's going to do what Triple H says.
Maybe.
Impact. Impact. Maybe.
I mean,
He'll
he
ruin
has
Impact.
history in TNA.
But he'll ruin Impact.
yeah.
They got a good thing going for them.
I think.
Ruin
And then NWA, I don't think would be a good fit for his style.
I don't think so either.
I think he should go to New Japan. Because here's the thing about New Japan, right? You never hear any drama with New Japan. Any backstage politics, none of that.
Just Kota
You
Ibushi.
Yeah, Kota Ibushi was the only thing.
Yeah.
But you go in there and you wrestle.
That's true.
So if he wants to wrestle, go to New Japan. And also, too, if you start to
can't
get a big
talk
head, you're going to get humbled.
That's true.
You're
They're
gonna
gonna
get
work
humbled.
you. They're gonna work you.
Like, you start talking shit, they're going to put you against Ishii
And Minoru Suzuki.
and Suzuki.
That's really how that works.
No, but that's
They feed you.
That's what I do.
that's what I would do, too.
Feed you to Suzuki.
Or Ospreay at this point, too.
Oh, honestly.
Yeah. So,
Hell yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of what I think should happen. What he should do.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he should go back to WWE. If he does, they give him a very limited role.
Yeah, I don't even know what he'd do. Because there's guys like I'll think about. It's like, oh, if they come into WWE, this is what I can see them doing. I
see Punk being a coach, being
Yeah.
a promo coach.
Yeah.
When's Rumble?
January?
January.
You could show up in the Rumble.
And for a one night, that would actually not be bad. That'd
Yeah,
actually
that
be
would.
perfect. That'd be
That
perfect.
would absolutely be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show up in a Rumble.
Yeah.
It would
And
make sense.
honestly, like, so there's also rumors of that we previously have talked about of Roman Reigns keeping the title for another Mania.
I mean, I'm with
What
you.
if Punk comes back, wins the Rumble, just to lose to Reigns?
Oh, a nice 3-month, 4-month program.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be good.
Triple H can put up with it.
Yeah. Have some good matches.
I don't know what Roman would do against CM Punk, though.
What do you mean?
Like, not just I'm not talking about the physical part of it, because I think Roman would steamroll CM Punk. But I mean, like, on the mic, I don't think that Roman could handle that type of stuff.
But Roman don't need to. He's got Heyman.
Yeah, you got Heyman,
Oh,
and
dude.
plus Punk got that whole lore with him. He's the one that kind of brought the Shield up.
Yep.
Like that whole that's how the Shield came
That's
up.
true.
Like the whole thing was
And then he was a Heyman guy.
and he was a Heyman guy.
Summer Punk.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of like little roots embedded here and there that they could definitely bring a little nice, compelling story out of it. For a nice 3-4 month feud for Mania, it would be really great. But let's just egos aside. Obviously.
Yeah, all egos aside.
I
What
don't
do you
think
say?
he could. Because I think Roman Reigns
Quote
is what
Chioda.
CM Punk feels like.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. the franchise Roman Reigns going against CM Punk, who CM Punk thinks he's the franchise as well. But either they're gonna humble him or he's gonna walk out.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see where he can play nice at.
But why take the chance?
Well, I take the chance.
If I was a promoter, I don't know.
Think about that draw. You gotta think the risk versus the reward.
People that I know, but
And
then you're associated with it, and if he taints it, you gotta bite the bullet.
Yeah.
They bit the bullet when Scott Steiner came in.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Has been working on opening his own wrestling promotion.
Yeah,
That's super cool.
that'd be cool.
Yeah. So well, that's any final thoughts? Anything else?
I wish the best for him, man. I hope when he does come back, he brings popsicles again. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Ice cream bars.
Ice cream. That's what they were. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still a fan of CM Punk as a wrestler. As a man, I don't know anymore. He does good. He does a good comic book though. Read the Drax series.
Yeah, I mean he's a good wrestler. He's good on the mic. Like I said, he's got some skills that I feel like sometimes get lost in today's wrestling, which I think when he came in was a really good breath of fresh air. He kind of brought back some of the old guard that a lot of people were missing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that helped. But he got too big for his head, I think, and he thought he was invincible. He's like Icarus.
Flew too close to the sun.
Flew too close to the sun.
Yeah.
And got burned.
Well, there's that. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts on CM Punk?
Phil of the past.
Phil of the past.
Feel of the past.
Let us know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your auntie Janine. The icon's still waiting.
Come on, baby.
But
Come on.
I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if that check bounces, so do you. Okay, bye.